Welcome back everybody. As you probably guessed from the title of the video as well as the thumbnail, this is what we're going over here. It's the latest pistol from the folks over at AREX. This is the Delta M Tactical. So if you guys have watched previously, we've discussed both the Delta L as well as Delta X, the Gen 1, the Gen 2. This is a Gen 2, but in the M configuration. So what that means is essentially it is Glock 19 size, same magazine capacity, similar length in overall size. It's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit more narrow, but other than that, pretty darn close in terms of overall size. It will fit in most Glock 19 holsters, which also is nice. But this is a tactical version, meaning that we do have suppressor height sights on there. They are steel. Rear is going to be serrated with a square notch, and then up front we have the white dot on there, and we do have the optics ready portion there. You guys have probably seen me shooting it with an optic throughout the intro, and then of course we do have a threaded barrel out of the end to shoot it suppressed. You guys have probably already seen that as well. So we are going to disassemble this thing, take it apart, look at that, and then walk through the features of it. But before we do that, we do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is the United States Concealed Carry Association, or the USCCA. They offer a number of products to include training, online education, in-person education, as well as self-defense, personal defense, insurance. So should you find yourself in a situation where you've had to defend your life, you can call USCCA. They will be there to assist you through that, whether it's dealing with law enforcement, dealing with a possible court case, or just getting the training that you need in order to either not find yourself in that situation, or if you do find yourself in that situation, come out on top. So again, thanks to the United States Concealed Carry Association. Now let's check this thing out up close and personal. Getting into the actual details on the pistol, first off, we're going to make sure it is clear. We're going to eject our magazine. Now, one thing you're going to note throughout this video is that this firearm is completely ambidextrous. Both the magazine, slide stop, takedown, everything ambidextrous. So you do get your standard capacity magazine, and then you get one with a +2 base plate. Now, if you do have the X model, or if you have some L model magazines sitting around, you can also use those magazines in this particular firearm as well. So that certainly is a good thing. We're going to make sure that it is clear, and at this point it is. Of note, if there was a round in the chamber, that little loaded chamber indicator should be sticking up, but you don't always want to rely on that. You definitely want to manually make sure, and we did just that. Additionally, one thing to note on this firearm that I do like is that it does have a striker indicator there on the rear. Now, for me, I don't carry appendix, so it's not a huge deal for me, but one thing I know a lot of appendix carriers do dig is the fact that if you're actually reholstering and it's appendix and anything gets caught in your trigger guard, you will actually feel it as that comes through the rear of the slide. So if you're an appendix carrier and you just reholster like that, if anything's in your trigger guard, you feel anything there on your thumb, you know to stop immediately. Definitely a cool feature. So again, we've already verified it's unloaded, so at this point we're just going to pull back slightly, pull down on both tabs here, and at this point the slide itself will come off. You do not need to press the trigger. That is something that I know a lot of folks do dig as well. Pulling out our guide rod and spring. Of course, this is the non-suppressed version. It does come with an extra power spring for shooting suppressed. As you guys saw, we had zero issues at all shooting this pistol suppressed, and we did use the extra power spring that it does come with. Now I'm going to take my thread protector off. It is threaded 1/2 by 28. This is not a thread protector that comes with the gun. It's just one I saw on my bench before I headed out here. But you guys should see photos of the one that does come with it. Of course, the barrel itself is cold hammer forged, chrome lined, and threaded again, like I said, 1/2 by 28. You can see there some good honest wear on it, but this barrel is a trooper. It has that nitrided finish on there as well for good corrosion resistance. You can see that big feed ramp on there that is nice and polished. So feeding hollow points, not an issue at all on there. Slide is going to have that nitrided finish as well, good corrosion resistance, good surface hardness. And you can look in there, you'll see no machine marks, nothing like that at all. You will see our striker safety as you would expect there on a striker fired pistol. But all in all, very, very well machined looking in the frame there. You'll note that it is, of course, a modular pistol. So this, of course, is the FDE frame, but any of the different colors that you want to use, you can buy those separately and use those. They will work just fine on this pistol, but again, you can see the wear marks on there, just good, honest wear. But it has performed very, very well so far, and reassembly is pretty simple. It's everything I just did, just in the opposite order. And you want to ensure that these cutouts there on the slide are lined up with the appropriate spot there on the frame. Push down, pull back, And at that point, you are reassembled and functions checked. We're just going to rack the slide, point in a safe direction, pull the trigger, hold to the rear, reset the slide. It should reset, and it does. Pistol is ready to go. Now that y'all have seen the disassembly, I do want to walk over some features that we haven't covered so far. We already discussed the magazines. These are readily available, which certainly is nice. I do believe these are made by Metgar. I do not believe they say that publicly, but it does have a Metgar stamp on it. So I am able to deduce that. And Metgar mags are some of the, if not the best pistol magazines on the planet. So I do dig that feature for sure. Looking at the magazine well there, you will see we do have a bevel to it. Additionally, we do have a slight cut to it. And what that is for is if you do encounter a double feed and your magazine is in there, you can grip and rip it. It gives you that little bit of relief cut to really pull on it and get the leverage you need to clear a double feed should that happen. Continuing to the grip texture, like we said, it's modular. But we do also, it does rather also come with 3 different back straps. The one that we have on there right now is the large. I do have large hands. I wear extra large gloves in pretty much every brand just for a point of reference. And for me, this pistol just fits a little bit more naturally in my hand with that large back strap. And one thing I do like with the large is that I do get more purchase on the gun in here on the frame. With the standard one or the small one, I just kind of get a little bit crowded in my hands on this particular firearm, so the large one fits me really well. I do dig it. It gives you a little bit more of a back strap in there. Texturing on the gun is good. The back strap and the forestrap, or front strap rather, are the same as the sides. If anything, I would like a little bit more aggressive texturing on the front strap, but really, I haven't had an issue with it. The pistol has not jumped around on me. We've been shooting this in triple-digit temperature, so that's about as good an endorsement, I guess, as we can say. As we already mentioned, everything is fully ambidextrous. Slide stop, slide release, and the slide release as well as the magazine release are somewhat shrouded. So particularly on the slide release, you can see that molding there into the actual frame itself that protects you from accidentally bumping it. Now, one thing I will say is that the magazine release, I'm not a fan of ambi-mag releases. I've said this for years now. I stand by it. I carry my pistols inside the waistband. Some of you may not. Some of you may carry appendix, which is still inside the waistband, but I carry it at 3 or 4 o'clock position. So one thing I've found with ambidextrous mag releases is that there is the possibility of like leaning into a wall, leaning into a car seat, whatever the case may be, and having your mag come out. That said, these are about as low profile and shrouded as you can possibly be and still have that ambi mag release. Again, it's a preference thing. Some of y'all out there I know love ambi-mag releases, so if that's you, it's definitely a good one for you. You can see we do have a slight undercut there on the trigger guard, then it is enlarged. We do have serrations on the trigger guard as well. And then coming out forward there, we do have a 1913 rail on there for any of your, lights, lasers, etc. that you do want to put on there. We already showed you guys how to walk through it, all of those details, but one thing I didn't talk about is going to be the optics mounting system. So the AREX system is one of the better ones out there in terms of not being a direct mill. So I think as a general rule, there are exceptions to this, as a general rule, the direct milled system is the best for durability and things like that for an optic. That said, the AREX is pretty darn good because what it does is, although it does use a plate system, which is good, it uses steel bolts, steel nuts that are reinforced and mate with the steel slides, so you get a lot of strength with the system. It does come with 5 different plates for all of the various optics that are out there. It takes standard size optics, so RMRs, etc. They also have, it doesn't come with it, but just let you know, they do have the plates available for acros as well as Holosun 509s if you guys want to run those on there. Those are available as well for this particular pistol. So really any optic you want to run on there, you can do so. At this point in the video, we have 2 big things that we do need to discuss before we close it out, and that's going to be reliability as well as price point. So price point's pretty simple. As of right now, this version here, the Gen 2 Tactical Delta M AREX is going to come in right around $600. That is MSRP. Now, of course, if you look around, you will be able to find it cheaper than that at your local gun store at whatever link I can provide for you guys on my social media, or depending on where you are watching this. So in terms of a value, if you look at other similar featured guns out there on the market, It's excellent, no doubt about it. And in terms of reliability, how has that been? Well, it's been 100%, and this particular pistol right now has just over 900 rounds through it, the majority of that being Minuteman ammunition, so definitely big thanks to them for sending the ammunition to use throughout this review. We've also shot hollow points, I believe Winchester 147 grain hollow points through it. Zero issues of any kind, suppressed or unsuppressed, and that is key. Now, we did talk about the dual recoil system that it does come with, being that one for suppressed and one not suppressed. That's something that I wish more and more companies would go with. Honestly, I'm surprised they don't. If you're offering a threaded barrel and you have a Browning tilting design, outside of a few offerings out there, most of them will want to have a different spring rate to run optimally with suppressors, and AREX figured that out. They included it. That is a win that, honestly, like I said, not many pistols are offering. And with it, you know, running that heavier spring on there, zero malfunctions of any kind with anything we ran through it. So you cannot be mad in terms of the actual reliability with the pistol. Now, one thing I didn't talk about so far, but we have harped on in previous AREX videos, is going to be the trigger. So obviously we have that dingus style, as Tim over at the Military Arms channel would say, safety. But the trigger on the AREX pistols is fantastic. We have that uptake there, which is nothing to write home about, but then we hit the wall. Crisp break right at 4.5 pounds and just super, super crisp. And the reset, very positive, very tactile. And the break, again, just phenomenal. If you can't shoot this pistol well, you simply can't shoot well. It has nothing to do with the pistol, and it points very naturally as well. Honestly, this is one of the just easiest striker fired guns to shoot well out of the box for most folks out there. It has a nice low bore axis as well, so that way as it cycles, it stays pretty darn flat. Really a very pleasant gun to shoot overall. And, you know, if you don't like the FD frame, like we talked about, you can switch it out for whatever you want, because it is a modular chassis rather style pistol. And with that, I think at this point, we've pretty much covered everything we need to about the pistol. If you guys have any questions about it, anything like that, you can post those questions down below at my various social media sites that you see here on your screen. You can also post them in the comments section. If you guys are new here and you haven't hit the subscribe button and you like this type of video, please go ahead and do so. If you've done that and you're not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, definitely sign up for my email list at the website here on your screen. This email goes out once a month, and it has all of the videos since the previous email went out. So that way there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content. It goes straight from me right to your email inbox. And then additionally, should this go on sale, should any of the optics that we've used go on sale, any of the ammunition we've used go on sale, any of those sorts of things, it will be in my daily deals email, and you can sign up for that at the website here on your screen. It goes out every single day, as the name indicates, and it has 6 or 7 of the best deals that we find around the internet. So that way, if it's in the email, it saves you guys some money and some time, because I've already done the looking for you. And obviously, if it's in that email, it's the cheapest I know of anywhere on the internet. So it's a good deal as well. With that, we will close the video out. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.